This video review is being brought to you by PrimeToys.net. PrimeToys.net, where you get collector grade toys without the collector grade pricing. PrimeToys.net. And be sure to stick around to the end of this video review for your chance to get not one, but two codes to be used on PrimeToys.net for great discounts. PrimeToys.net. And I'm a reviewer, so let the reviews be joined. Hey guys, your friend Donbot here, yet again for another video review. And I apologize for the way this is going to sound and stuff, but this is going to be the best way I can do this guy because he's so big. We're going to look at Titan's Returns, Titan Master, or Titan Class, excuse me, Fortress Maximus. I'm actually going to step back away from the camera to the front of the camera to do this right because he's so big I can't really do it any other way. First and foremost, this guy is awesome. I mean, there's not much you can't say about this guy. We all know already that this is a repaint and redeco of the Metroplex Titan class figure of Generations. So it's still pretty darn cool for it. We were all wanting this guy to come out. I know I was when I first heard it because Fortress Maximus is pretty much my favorite from the original G1 series. As you can see, I basically have him sitting here in his city mode, but this is basically the best way I'm going to do this. As you can see, as I mentioned, this is a city mode, kind of a homage to the original, and kind of more like a combination of Metroplex, of course, that this one's coming from, and Fortress Maximus. He does have a similar style to him. He gets his big cannons back here on his legs. But he doesn't have like the normal ramps and stuff from the G1. He does kind of have this one here. He have this here. He has his tower basically here. He has a turret as well. But this is basically it for it. He does have the little pegs here, or bridges as you might call them, that you would attach Power Master Prime or Blaster or any other the leader class Titan Master figures into this to make it even a bigger city. I've actually been curious if you could actually take another Titan Master Fort Max and peg him onto it, attach him on here. I don't know if it'll work. I don't have a second one to test it out on, but it would be an interesting little test to try out. It does kind of have the same little appendage here or bridge here to peg it together, so it might work, it might not, it may just be a little off, but it might be worth a test run if somebody can do that. Maybe I can. I'm hoping to get the car release of this as well at some point. But one key thing about this guy, before we really get into anything else, is that the Titan Master figures, like little Spike here, or whichever way you want to call him, they have the little peg holes on the bottom of their feet, and he has several spots all over him to apply these to. He has one right up here in the front where you basically just peg him in, and you can have him standing here like so. But that's not the only one. I actually got the other ones sitting aside here from the other Titan Masters that I have. I want to peg them onto some of these others so you can just see just how many roughly you can put on here. You have some here on the ramps here as well. You also have another one back here on the, if I can just get this pegged on right, other portions of this guy, which I'm not getting the peg hole just lined up just right. Come on, work with me. There we go. You can also, of course, the turret, you can take one and situate them into the turret like so. You can also, you got some more back here on the main cannons where you can peg them in like so, and you even have it where you can peg on the back of the cannon here. There's a little, I apologize about how well this is going to, I can get this, but there's a little double peg hole, or just set of pegs, excuse me, inside a hole right here, right behind the cannon, that you can actually also peg a guy in to, if I can get him to get his legs to stay straight enough to do it. Like so. So you can kind of hand him like sort of manning that cannon if you want. And I'm going to turn them around here. You see one of mine already unpegged because I didn't have them down right. On the back part of his legs here, or the back part of the base, he also has another set of pegs there. You can peg those in. So you got pegs all over. You literally have 2 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So that's 8, 16. You got 2 more up here, 17, 18, 19. You got at least 20 pegs all over this guy to peg these Titan Masters into them. Definitely is pretty cool that you can do that, especially when you add the other city bots to them. But we're just going to unpeg all these guys off of here real quick to get these out of the way. We'll set those aside for the time being. And we'll swing this guy back around. And I apologize for the squeal there. And one sad thing is, I'm pretty sure this is probably on most people's, but this piece does seem to want to peg or pop out this little peg joints here a lot, but it can still just peg right back in. You have little Cerebros. This is him in his tower mode, and he will peg right into this portion here. And when you do so, there's a little switch on his bottom where all the electronics in that is that will activate through this little gray peg here. And it's like a transformation lock on there. You also have this little cannon which you can situate. I kind of like setting it there because it kind of gives it just a little bit there. You can set your Legends class figures all over this guy like a regular city and stuff. But one key thing that I've noticed on this guy as well is that you can sort of transform this into a representation of the G1 Fortress Maximus. This is more of a fan mode, but to do so, I'm going to swing this guy around and show you a little bit better on the back as best I can. One way I found to do this is you reach right back here where his legs are, and you ratchet these around to this point where you see this gray section, have it sticking toward the back. You will then twist these around with the leg to this point, ratchet these up like so. You want to unpeg it from this position, and you also kind of lock that foot into place. And you kind of can sort it out if you ratchet it up just right. You can actually also ratchet it up, one ratchet joint up to get a little bit more support. Do the same on this side. Twist like so. Ratchet it up once. We'll turn. I think I only got this turned right. Because you want to put this piece toward the front, which I still haven't done yet. I haven't turned this enough. There we go. Ratchet it up, and you'll turn just the tower basically in this position. You can ratchet this down, lock it in place. And it doesn't, these things don't really peg together anywhere, but it kind of does, the back of the station does kind of lock it up. I'll turn this back around so you can see it fully from the front. I apologize for that again. And this is basically the G1 version of it in his city mode, which looks pretty cool. It does look like his G1 self, but it's nice. It's a nice representation. Though most people ain't going to really display him in city mode, they're more likely going to have him in his Big Fort Max mode. But I still, this is pretty cool. If you want to save space, this is a pretty good way to do it, where his legs ain't hanging all the way out. But we'll go ahead and ratchet him, transform him back into his position mode, regular city mode, excuse me. Ratchet these back down, just turn it back around, get that back out. It actually doesn't hurt to keep it this way if you really want to, but it does kind of call for you to have it in this position where you have the red labels that comes with the figure sticking up. We'll do the same on this side, just real quickly. Ratchet that down, straighten it out. And once again, we have it back into city mode. Also, in the city mode, you can have this pegged into on the side here, actually on this side. I I hate that that's doing that. I do apologize again for that. So please bear with me on that. This has a little big old peg here that will peg into on this leg only. It doesn't have one on the other leg. You can kind of just slide it right up and it just slides right in and basically situates like so. Almost like a little landing pad, or you can even keep it unattached and have a little tank drawn or something like that as your imagination persists. Next we're going to go into the basically spaceship or battle station mode, which is real simple. Basically all you do is ratchet the joints here at the legs towards the back like so, and once these are pegged in right, mine keep wanting to pop loose on his feet for some reason. I may not have these ratcheted up right, but this is basically it. This is basically his battle station spaceship mode, as you want to call it. You can have this turn out if you like as well, just to give it the extra little gumption. But that's it. This is basically all of this mode. Next, before I go into city mode or Fort Max mode, we're going to take a quick look at Cerebros here. And let's bring a little Spike here into focus, because I'm going to get right behind the camera here for this. And here's Cerebros in his basically his tower mode. To transform him into his robot form, it's really simple. Right here at the bottom, you already got him partially done. Ratchet, you're going to fold these joints down, flatten them out. Straighten his legs back out. Right here you'll fold these back, lock it into place like so. It pegs, actually it doesn't lock, excuse me, it pegs in. You have a peg hole right there with a peg right there. You just fold this back and peg in like so. Rotate the forearms around to basically put the arm right in the right position. Do the same on this side. You hear that little click from it popping in. And that's basically it. That is Cerebros. Aside from his head, which we'll set him aside and we'll look at his little head, his little Titan Master, which is pretty cool. Real nice design here. I really love the paint work on this guy. It's just like the same with the others, just real small tight joints, ball joints. I mean, there's no real articulation on him other than raise his arms up and down like so. And of course you can fold his legs like so. They are attached together, so you can't really split them up. But to transform him into head mode, just flip them together. And here's a little Cerebros in his head mode. Before I get much more comparison, let me grab these other ones over here, which I happen to lay over here instead of right there. I'm going to do a little comparison size-wise here with Cerebros. This is head. As you see, this is the Titan Master head. And this one is the G1 version. So definitely a difference in it. Kind of looks like Fort Max in a way with the head sculpt and stuff there. But this one definitely looks more like a Cerebros for his head. So that is pretty cool. Definitely a big size difference, as you can see. But let's bring one other one in. This is the Warden Headmaster from the Perfect Effect, and I'm going to just quickly transform him into his head mode, just so you can see the little bit of difference between these two, or excuse me, these three. If you don't know who Warden is the current IDW version of Fort Max. Perfect Effect did this guy, and he's actually pretty cool. And this is his head mode, so it's basically Fort Max smaller, but you can see the size difference really between them. It is definitely smaller than bigger than the Titan Master, but just a slight bit smaller than the original G1. So it's pretty cool to have all these guys put together just to see the size difference between them. Next, we're going to just put Cerebros here onto his head, and you will hear like a power-up sound. Well, like a fire blast sound. It does have several sound effects for him, which all he seems to want to do is do the sound. There we go. Let's see if I can get it to do it again. All he wants to do is fire the gun. But basically that's the gist of it. We'll set Cerebros here, down, and we're going to go ahead and transform the big city bot here of Fort Max into his robot form. Do so, it's real easy. We'll fold the cannon back up into his body. You want to go ahead and start back here. Oh, also, almost forgot. As you can hear, he does have wheels to help you roll. So it does help with that for if you want to use them in spaceship mode or battle station as this was on, because you could also have the turns raised up, of course, for that. But to do the robot mode, simply raise these portions up. They'll peg right into him to form his feet, like so. And we're going to go ahead and stand him up just to show this off. You will then, right here, just like with the G1, unpeg these, and these will rotate into his chest cavity area, lock into place, which is pretty cool. It does give that nice G1 style to that, at least in my book it does. Up here you will unpeg this and rotate this down, and I'll just simply, I'll turn this around so you can see. Let me make sure how the camera is on this. I do apologize, I'm having to walk around like this. Let me raise this camera up just a hair so you can see. I'll try and see if I can get it zoom in some. There we go, that'll work a little bit better. But you'll just rotate all this back, and just simply, that will fall off. I don't know why mine keeps doing that. I may need to put some nail polish on those little pegs just to keep it a little bit more sturdy in that, but that's probably my best option for that. Next, we're going to, with this side, all we'll basically do is we'll rotate this whole section down, which of course you can see is his arm, into place, and then rotate. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the ratchet joint up. Whoops, almost got to rotate that first. You rotate it here to elbow, which will give you the rotation, elbow rotation, and then you already have his hand ready to go for whichever way you want to do it. We'll do the same on this side. Rotate it down, and we'll rotate his elbow, which I've done too much. And we'll bring his hand around, and there we go. Here is Fort Max basically in his robot form without his head. And we're going to combine Cerebros on here, and to transform him, I go ahead, you can take Cerebros out if you wish, but it is recommended that you rotate his head around backwards like so. You will then rotate his arms forward and lock him just like he was just a little while ago, like you're almost like you transform him into his tower mode, but you rotate him like so. You rotate these forward just to get him out of the way. Right here at the feet, you will rotate his feet and heel back up like so and like so. Right here at the hip area, you will ratchet these up and rotate these around, and these are going to peg. Right here you have a peg hole right there and a peg right there that's going to peg in there nice and securely. We'll do the same on this side. You will then, last but not least, all you do is basically, oh crud, okay, come on. Oop, I was pushing the wrong button, that's why. Right here, you will rotate this section up, and then you'll fold these panels back, like so. And here we have Fort Max's head. You can see it lights up all up here. You see, when you do this, when he's linked up in this form, basically, when this rotates back, it basically hits a little switch that activates all the Fort Max sounds. And we're going to just link him into the head up here, like so. Oh, let's do one more thing before we do that. I want to once again do a head comparison. And I'm going to bring all three of the heads once again into focus. here we have the G1 reissue Optimus Fort Max head. It's pretty cool. And here is the Titan Master Fort Max head. You can see it is bigger, mostly with the antennae and stuff, and just a shade bit wider. But still pretty cool design for it. Definitely an upgrade from it. But there is one other one we can compare it to. Here is the Warden head. Ward perfect have Ward in his headmaster mode, because you can transform him and you can combine him up with the G1 figure, which is a cool addition. But before we do that, let's go ahead and link the Titan Master guy here up into his. Oh, I meant to mention you're supposed to rotate the arms backwards on that. I can't believe I forgot to show that. But you just simply take him and we'll just pop him right onto Fortress. How you hear him say Decepticon. So that is pretty cool. He looks really, really good. Now, one thing, I know I wondered this when he was first coming out, and with everybody wondering, I know several people I know of were wondering as well, is you cannot link the G1 up to it because of the pegs and stuff, but it is come pretty close. I think the peg hole for the Spike figure kind of hinders it, but you can actually get him just in there. The peg hole for Fort Max. I'm trying to see if I can rotate this and get this in the shot. As you can see, is just like the G1, only it's just a shade bit smaller. Actually, the way it comes out to on the Fort Max, the G1, it comes up to right here, so it just barely misses out on being able to hook that in there. As for the Warden, he cannot fit in there. I kind of hoped he might, but he can't. He's got too big of a base, but you can kind of set him like that if you want to. It gives him a little bit of a neck, but it's pretty decent. I mean, you can't lock it down, but you can kind of get him in there. It's cool, but you know, it's all right. Well, look, Fort Max back in here, and there we have it, guys. Oh, don't forget, you can again peg this onto the side here if you wanted to. This kind of does go to the G1 self as well. If you remember, he had the little cannon basically back here that you flip out and use it. Which, on that note, also, if you haven't got this guy yet, or you have got him and you want to upgrade him, Perfect Effect, or excuse me, not Perfect Effect, DNA Designs is releasing 2 sets for this guy. One set is going to give him fully articulated fingers, plus on the back of his forearm or his hand here, he's going to have the little red cannons. So that's going to be a plus to that. Also, he's going to have a upgrade that you can peg. You're supposed to be able to attach them like right here, but it's going to give him the big red cannons from the G1, which is going to be cool. And then I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but they're supposed to, when he's in, if you don't have him displayed there, they're going to be able to attach back here on his back somehow. I didn't really see an image that showed just how well those are going to work. The images I've seen was just basically attached here. Those do look pretty cool. But they've also, I believe it was Perfect Effect did do this, where they had the gun that come with Warden, big sized and designed for Fort Max to hold as well. So that's another upgrade to look at for this guy. Plus, DNA Designs does have another upgrade for Cerebros that's supposed to make his legs, I think, a little bit thinner or something like that for him, which does look really good as well. Plus, Toy Hacks or Repo Labels has an upgrade Repo Label set for Cerebros as well, which I believe that was only like $4 for that. I have yet to get it though. But that being said, guys, that's going to be the end for this video review for Titans Returns Titan Fort Maximus. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really do enjoy it. I know I did. I was happy when I picked this guy up. I went to my local Toys R Us and they had him in stock. I actually was shocked when I walked in and I saw him. I was like, holy crap. I was like, this is cool. Because not only did I get Fort Max, but I got all those other guys as well. The other Titan Masters I reviewed. So it was pretty darn cool. A little toy hunt that I was expecting to come up to nothing. Actually came up to something. Oh, let me do this real quick. I was wanting to have this. This is why I brought them in here. So you can just see the difference really in size comparison between these two. As you can see, the Titan Master does beat him out by a little bit. I mean, it basically his antennas is what's got the real difference. I mean, it's Titan, you know, the Fortress Maximus basically coming up to right here in G1. So it is pretty cool size comparison. But once again, guys, that's going to be it for this video review. If you like what you see, please like, comment, and share this video. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe. I thank you all for watching. And before I sign off here, don't forget to check out primetoys.net, where you can get collector grade toys without the collector grade pricing. And till the end of this month of September, I would have had this video up sooner where you could have gotten it through August, but he had one extra code that has actually ended now at the end of August. But this part of September, we got the same code going up for Transmissions 30. If you type in that code at your checkout, any item he has in stock, you will get 30% off of that till the end of this month. So it's like a clearance sale for him. So I highly recommend you guys check him out. From what I understand, he's done real good on that. So I hope you guys do check it out. I hope you do use that code. And don't forget also to use the code TRANSMISSIONS, where you can get 10% off your order. And note, you cannot use more than one code at a time. So you can't type in Transmissions 30 to get 30% off, then add the other code Transmissions to get the extra 10% off. That's not going to work. I do apologize for that. That would be insane if you could do that, though. But no, you can't do that. But so I highly recommend you guys check that out. Do the Transmissions 30, which Transmissions is also sponsored. Its podcast also sponsored by primetoys.net, where you can get, you listen to them. I listen to them every Friday when they get a new episode up. They're a great group of guys. They talk anything and everything Transformers. We got the Mighty Yoshi. We got the Toy Master Daryl. We got Jeremy, who's always there. And we got the Wikipedia of Transformers, Big C Charles. So definitely check them out. I'll have links to that down below as well. I highly recommend you guys listen to them. But that being said, guys, lastly, please like, comment, and share this video. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. And this is Dogbot saying thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.